Now we face days of destiny. That's how Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu described the opportunities and challenges that lie ahead for Israel.
Netanyahu made those remarks alongside United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio. He's the latest in a long line of visiting U.S. officials working to preserve the president's peace deal. CBN's Julie Stahl reports.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with Secretary of State Marco Rubio shortly after his arrival. His visit comes on the heels of Vice President J.D. Vance and negotiators Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. President Trump visited last week.
This is a circle of trust and partnership. You've been an extraordinary friend of Israel, and now we face days of destiny. We want to advance peace. We still have security challenges. But I think that we can work together, and by working together, both address the challenges and seize the opportunities.
Rubio noted that it's just over a week since President Trump's work led to the release of 20 living hostages and a ceasefire. Hamas also agreed to the return of 28 dead hostages, but 13 are still unaccounted for, leading to charges they violated the deal.
No one's under any illusions. We've already done the impossible once, and we intend to keep doing that if we can. We have good partners that we're working on. But we feel confident and positive about the progress that's being made. We're clear-eyed about the challenges, too.
A small number of Knesset members put a strain on the U.S.-Israel relationship when they passed the first reading of a bill to extend Israeli sovereignty over biblical Judea and Samaria, also known as the West Bank. When asked if he thought the sovereignty vote would affect the peace plan, Trump said,
"They're not going to do anything with the West Bank. Don't worry about it. Israel's doing very well. They're not going to do anything with it."
He also told Time magazine that Israel would lose U.S. support if that happened. The Prime Minister's office said the vote was a deliberate political provocation by the opposition to sow discord during Vice President J.D. Vance's visit to Israel. Tech columnist and Israel advocate Hillel Fold tells CBN News he sees the vote as part of a global political trend to tear down political leaders.
And so the opposition said, "Oh, here's a good way to give it to Bibi. We're going to vote for, sovereignty in Judea and Samaria and just annoy the vice president," which they did.
Regarding Trump's statements, Fold says he believes Trump is a real friend to Israel, but that could change.
I think it's a little bit absurd, for lack of a better term, that the United States of America thinks it has the right to dictate to Israel a decision that's internal to Israel, let alone a security issue.
Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Well, obviously, we're walking down a tightrope. On one side is Hamas continuing to fire its weapons. They're using snipers to kill IDF soldiers. They're killing their own people. They're murdering people in Gaza. And it's just outrageous what they're doing. But if the IDF goes back in, well, then from a peace standpoint, you're back to square one. Can Turkey and Qatar come along, and are they going to adhere to the Muslim Brotherhood doctrine that Israel has to be wiped off the map? Is it part of a long-term strategy on their part to have a pause in the fighting so that they can rebuild and rearm, whether that's in southern Lebanon or in Gaza? Will Saudi Arabia and UAE step up to the plate and become the peacekeepers in Gaza? And where is Egypt in all of this? Egypt is the home of the Muslim Brotherhood. At various points in time in their history, they have jailed the leaders. They've declared them illegal. They've declared them as a terror group. But at the same time, they seized power after the Arab Spring. A lot of different things are in play, and I think right now the American foreign policy is a policy of I guess it's a joke, but it's not really a joke. It's a policy of babysitting. That how many real high-level American officials can come and be in Israel and convince Israel not to go back into Gaza, to let the peace process have a chance of success. Because if they do invade, again, we're back to square one. So these are days of destiny, and not just for Israel, but for the entire Middle East. Will they throw off the ideology of hate, the ideology of anti-Semitism? Can they possibly break through? If they can, then there is a tremendous possibility for a new era of peace. And that's something I would absolutely applaud.